everyone. Welcome to Keeping It Real. It's Nikki Shelton, and we're with Carrie Selby. How you doing today, Carrie?
I'm really good. I was actually just putting myself in the sunshine.
I know, right? We actually have sun here, and it's not freezing cold either, so I'm very happy about that.
Yes.
So we're going to talk today about etiquette when you go to an open house, because I've been doing a lot of open houses recently, and what I have is people have no idea what to do.
It's true.
So I know, right? And there's things that you should do and and the reasons why you should do what you should do and whatever. So, like you can go in and do whatever you want, but I mean, like, keep in mind there's sometimes the seller has like video cameras up or whatever, right? So, like if you're trashing the house or you're, saying bad things or your kids are jumping or you bring your dog, people find out. I've heard like all kinds of horror stories about all those things. And, and I don't mean like never bring your kids, but you need to be very conscious that it's still somebody else's home and treat it kindly. And, I've seen kids like run and jump on furniture, and it's just, no, don't do that kind of stuff. But let's talk about some of the things you should do, because we want to keep it positive today, right?
Yes, so, always look at the positive.
Right. So usually you're going to see, like whether it's in the MLS or Zillow or whatever, you're going to look at the open house and there's going to be times listed. And, show up on time. Or show up during that time frame and just, be there. If you show up early, you're usually like the broker's running at the last minute, preparing, turning lights on or whatever. Like, you don't want to be like, they're 5 or 10 minutes early. Oh, let me in, because it interrupts with getting set up for the rest of the people that are coming through. And same thing for the end of the day. A lot of times people will show up at the very last minute, and, we usually try to do what we can, but, we do have families and lives and other clients and stuff like that. So there is a time, and, we always hate to say no. So try to be on time and be there during the times that it's set.
Yeah, that happened to us the last time we did an open house together, didn't it?
I know, right?
You closed everything up, you're getting ready to lock the door, and people walked up and you went ahead and opened the doors and let them in.
Yes, I try to comment, but still it's like really as on the other side of it, because we go back and we talk to the sellers and it's like, oh, that person up last minute, and yes. It's just kind of being inconsiderate, right? Like Agreed. You wouldn't show up for a meeting late, same thing. The other part of that too is I know that, and I've kind of almost given up because it's like because no one will do this, but a lot of the sellers really like to see, who is at the open house. Keep in mind, again, it's their home. It's where people live. It's, whether it's vacant or not, it's still somebody owns this property, and they like to know who's coming in. And I know as a broker, it's nice to have, who came in, so I can share that with my seller. Like we had, 4 people in today or whatever. A lot of brokers put themselves at risk by doing these open houses. And so it's just kind of considerate to, at least introduce yourself and even jot down an email or a phone number or something. I'm not going to call people. I don't know how the other brokers work. They might do a follow-up call or something like that just to see if there's questions. But you know what? You're making that broker feeling a lot more at ease, and you're also communicating that you were there with the seller and being respectful of property.
Most definitely. And I think the hesitation usually is because people do not want to be hounded. And so they avoid putting their information down just because they don't want to be faced with, telling people no or whatever. But you're very clear, and I'm always clear. If you want to be contacted, please let us know. We're happy to reach out. But if you don't want to be, it's just important that you always tell them the seller wants to know who came through. But also for safekeeping, like you said, if somebody gives you kind of a weird vibe, you want to be able to know who they were and their contact information just in case.
Right. And also, even if the worst case scenario, give your broker's name and phone number. If you don't want to give your personal information, just say, you know what, I'm working with this broker, call them. At least there's something, and it's a point of contact. The next thing is be respectful of the property. I kind of talked about that a few minutes ago. Again, it's like, I understand kids come, you want to show the kids that I get it. Sometimes you can't get a babysitter, that's fine. And I'm not just trying to pick on kids here. It could be you walking in with dirty feet. You know what I mean? Like it's like raining outside and stuff like that. Don't walk in with muddy shoes. Take off your shoes. Follow the rules. Don't don't walk down on the bed or, scratch the walls or just be respectful of the owner's property because they're allowing you in to look. And they probably put a lot of money into making sure that it looks really nice to make sure it's going to be presentable. So be kind and considerate.
And you want to get a feel for the space. So a lot of people will wander around, but when it comes to opening dresser drawers and different things like that, that's definitely personal property. So just strongly encourage people not to do that. And
Right.
just, I could understand if you want to see how deep the cabinets in the kitchen are. That's
Absolutely.
a little different than going into someone's bedroom and opening a dresser drawer or something like that.
Right. Or looking even at appliances. Those are usually with this thing with the house and stuff like that's fine to look in, like, the refrigerator. Okay, it works, that kind of thing. But, don't rummage through their food or something. That's kind of rude.
Right? Oh, some of my snacks are missing.
Okay. And then we talked about this again earlier too. Keep those conversations private. You never know. Sometimes they will announce it like, hey, there's a Ring camera and we're, videotaping every conversation. Sometimes they don't tell you too. So, again, if you're interested in this property, you could be hurting your chances in your chance of negotiation. If they go, oh my God, this person loves this property and they're willing to pay, or whatever, because they're willing to go to any extreme to get this house because they're just absolutely in love with it. They're gonna use that against you if they have it on video. So be smart. Just keep, when I tell my clients if they ever have to go without me, I said, you know what? Take my card, give it to whoever you're showing or looking at the open house with. That way they can get in contact with me. That way you don't have to share your information if you don't want. But, give them my card and then let them know that I will follow up with them or whatever. And, be honest about it. Right. And, don't say a lot, ask questions if you have questions, but just don't give away anything. Like, don't tell them how much you love the house or don't be rude about it either. That's not good either because that gets out there too. Don't be rude.
I had a friend that was selling their house and they had cameras in the house because they have small children and wanted to keep track of where they were. And they could hear the rude comments people were making about their home. And that's very hurtful too. So if you did want to entertain an offer further down the road, and they heard all the negative things that you were saying, it also might turn off the seller.
Right? It's going to be I don't think so. They don't like that. I don't want to work those. They're rude. Again, and then it's okay to ask questions. Keep it to the house. Don't start trying to negotiate on your own. Like, don't ask them, well, would you take this or would you do that? You don't want to have those type of conversations, but definitely questions regarding the house. Like, how many square foot does it have? I noticed that you added, or it looks like maybe you added something. Was this in addition to the house? Those are fair enough questions you can ask the brokers that are there, but don't try to negotiate or set things up or do all that stuff right then. That's not the time and place.
Exactly.
Okay. People who are unqualified going into homes, every broker out there knows that all the neighbors come by and look because they want to know what their neighbor's house is like. That's a good thing. In my opinion, it's a good thing too, because you know what? You might have a neighbor whose best friend wants to move into the area and be their next door buddy. And, that's absolutely fine. I love having neighbors come in. Plus I think they want to know what's going on in the neighborhood and what's kind of happening. And so I totally get that. So, but as far as, just going to open houses, I guess if you're, window shopping or something, tell the people that. Just say, you know what, I'm not interested at all. I'm just looking for ideas on how to fix my kitchen up or whatever.
Yeah.
But really seriously, if you're looking at stuff like that, know if it's in your budget. Don't go look at like homes that are way outside of your budget because you're just going to disappoint yourself. Don't do it. Just know your budget and stay there. Be pre-approved if you're serious about purchasing. Again, if you're just looking, I'm just looking. I have no desire to buy this property or other property. But, if you're looking at buying a home, make sure you have your pre-approval. Make sure you're ready to go because they go quick sometimes. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do.
Yeah, we had a house this past weekend that it was on the market for 3 days. And by the time we did the open house, it had already been posted. So we kept it. But there was already an offer on the home and it was going to be reviewed later on that night because the home was priced at a great price point and it was in a wonderful neighborhood. So yeah, things can move very quickly.
So be prepared. If you're interested in buying a house and that is your intention when you're going to these open houses, make sure you're ready for it. Don't bring a crowd. It's like, don't bring your mom and your dad and your cousin and your 10 kids and don't bring your dog. I mean, dogs are never
Yeah.
like, unless it's a service
Pets,
animal,
yeah.
they should
Nope.
never be allowed into, I mean, don't even ask. Like, it's just, I mean, the dog has a mistake on the carpet or whatever, and, there's an issue. So just bring who the decision makers are, really.
Yeah.
Just try to keep it small, and so you can focus on what you're doing.
And there's a time and a place for everything. You can go and look at the house on your own. And then later on, if you do like the home and you want others to see it, schedule an appointment with your real estate agent to go view the home privately.
Absolutely. And and sometimes it's like you get a big group of people in during an open house, and you're trying to talk to a bunch of different people, and it's kind of a rude behavior, just saying. Okay. And then, if you are interested, make sure I mean, like, again, like I say, here's my, like, to my clients, if you're going by yourself, here's my card, tell them I will follow up and either say yes or no or whatever, and try to give them some opinions. But if you're interested, make sure you're following up and let people know, because if you wait until if you wait, like you go home and I'm kind of interested, it could be gone the next day. So make sure that if you love the house, you let everybody know. I mean, but don't tell them you love the house, but let your broker know.
Let your broker know. Yeah. The right people. Let the right people know.
Anything else that we can add to this?
No, I think it was pretty thorough. It's really fun to be able to do these open houses and see, because I love getting ideas from what other people do in their homes as well. And I love interacting with people too. So, just go in with an open mind and be friendly, because
Yes.
we do take time out of our day to, go to these open houses and host them. We're not super pushy people. It's just nice to be kind and considerate. And we always tell people, just go about, we're not going to follow you around. Just want you to look at the home and get a feel for it, and then give us some feedback. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, and just be nice. I mean, like, we're just people. We like to have, hey, how's it going? What's the weather today? What's your favorite, So be kind, have fun. Definitely go to those open houses though, because we love to do it. But say hi and be friendly. That's the biggest thing, I think, right?
Yes.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you next time.